Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the author, Andrew Snorton, and you are tuned into the Fast 15. As we do each and every Wednesday, we take about 15 minutes to take moments to pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note from one of the books or audio books, and then close out with a few announcements and a couple, just closing words of encouragement. So I appreciate each and every one of you for taking time out of your schedule to watch, like, share, all that type of stuff. So to stay connected with me, make sure to add me on Facebook on the page Author Andrew Snorton, AuthorAndrewSnorton. You may add me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Author A Snorton. And when you add me on Instagram, when you click on the link in the bio, it'll go to my press and media section. So that way you can pull a copy of the press kit, check out any of the interviews, articles, things along those lines, and then you can navigate through the website to get information on all the books, all the audio books, the merch, the coffee brand, all those types of things. So to each and every one of you, I thank you once again for your encouragement, support, and things along those lines as we get into our talk for the day. Before we do that, we always take time to kind of pause and reboot. So for anyone out there that's going through some type of challenging time. It could be something with your physical health, your mental health. It could be with relationships with family, with community, sometimes, internal things. As all of us to varying degrees are dealing with something. So, for anyone that's dealing with something that's a little bit extra, um, you have every right to feel some kind of way. We're human and we're going to go through the wide range of emotions. By the same token, you owe it to yourself to kind of pause and reboot. If what you're going through requires professional attention, do not be ashamed or afraid to get it. If what you are going through requires you to kind of change up some things, it might be changing up your diet, changing up your workout routine, changing up the places that you go, changing up the people that you're around. If you're able to, it could be changing your job situation, your living situation, things along those lines. Or if it's really just you getting in your own way, do what you need to do constructively to continue to grow, continue to build, continue to move forward, and be the person that you are capable of being, but also be the person that others can rally around and be a resource and things along those lines. We definitely want to give people a shout. By the same token, we know there's a number of people who are going through some positive things. You might have had that professional breakthrough, that health breakthrough, um, something that you've been preparing for came from an unexpected source and it's allowing you growth opportunities. You're in a good space, physically, mentally, emotionally. You're in a good space with the people that you're around. We definitely want you to take time to celebrate those things because you know what you had to work through in order to get there. Um, so definitely do that. Don't go overboard, but definitely, celebrate knowing what you've worked through. Build on the positive energy so you keep things moving. And let's not forget our peers who might, be going through something because that might have been us or it could be us because we know how things can change. So, in that spirit, I'm going to go back to the very first book that I wrote that I released back in February of 2017. So this past Sunday marked 6 years of writing. So wow, who would have thought 6 years later with four books, five audio books, a number of engagements and all that type of thing. It's pretty cool. So I want to go back to where it all started with the very first book, Deeper Than Your Deepest Sleep, Thoughts on Love with Joseph Snorton. And it's a poetic retelling of a conversation with a long lost family member, and we looked at the action of love through lenses of family, community, people in your life, people no longer in your life, self image, things along those lines. But unlike a lot of poetry, since it's based on actual conversation, the beginning of each chapter is a portion of the actual talk. And then when you get into the poem, it's easier for the reader to draw connections and context and things along those lines. So, what I want to do is pull from one of the chapters, if you'll give me a moment. And once I find that chapter, I'm going to read from a couple of portions from chapter 18. And it really is where it starts off here. So, chapter 18, do I love what I see in the mirror? And that comes into self image and self love. And we've heard the adage, if you can't love yourself, it's hard to love other people. So I want to read a couple of things from here that I think will help. And I'm going to read right here. So here's part of the lead in for the poem, and I'll read a couple of selections. You gotta love yourself. How else can you really love other people? And it's not about being arrogant or boastful. It's just about being in tune with who you are and whose you are. But you have to get your head out of the sand or the clouds and get back to reality so you can see yourself for who you are and who you can be, says somebody. And these are definitely some deep words in a setting where it sometimes does not occur that often. So let me run that statement back one more time. You gotta love yourself. How else can you really love other people? And it's not about being arrogant or boastful. It's about being in tune with who you are and whose you are. But you have to get your head out of the sand or the clouds and get back to the reality so you can see yourself for who you are and who you can be. Now, simple but powerful statement, because sometimes we look in the mirror and we don't like what we see. We don't like what we see because we are very self critical in regards to what we haven't been able to do, or we internalize others' impressions of us in regards to, well, because other people aren't validating us, then we're not worthy or we're not good enough, or things along those lines. Or, you feel like you have things that are free flowing, then the very next day people flip the script. There's so many instances of where we chip away at ourselves because of how critically we view ourselves, but how we do sometimes let other people's impressions or other people's lack ofs get thrown our direction. And that's where you definitely have to pause, reboot, and slow things down and look at what you have been able to do and build off of that and feed off of that and draw value in that. And then when you start remembering who you are and whose you are, you're going to go about things a little bit differently. It doesn't mean we don't have rough times or adversity or things don't hurt when you feel like you've gone about your business the right way and then people do a complete 360, or you have those moments. But just make sure those moments are just those moments and not episodes or things along those lines. So hopefully someone drew some encouragement on that today. So again, it's chapter 18, Do I Love What I See in the Mirror? And it's from the very first book that I wrote, Deeper Than Your Deepest Sleep, Thoughts on Love with Joseph Snorton. So it's definitely a great read for the poetry lovers and lovers of love. So a couple of real quick things as we get ready to wind down. Make sure you mark your calendars for a week from this coming Thursday if you're in Atlanta. So that will be February 23rd from 7 to 9 p.m. Check out the great event that is being hosted by I Am Rooted LLC. I'm excited to be a part of that. So make sure to look at I Am Rooted LLC on Instagram. Get info about the Sip and Paint event that they're doing from 7 to 9 p.m. You do have to purchase a ticket, but with your ticket purchase, it includes your painting, it includes your beverages and things along those lines. I'll be there. I'll feature two of my four books that I've written, and definitely looking forward to seeing you guys out there. So make sure to add I Am Rooted LLC, and you can definitely check on my social media. A few other things. Shouts to Status Network live TV channel. Looking forward to wrapping up this month and getting back in the studio. So many thanks to you guys. Thanks to each and every reader, fellow author, bookstore, book festival, special event that I've been able to be a part of. Like I said, I started my author journey February 12th, 2017, with my first book signing at the Starbucks located on Howell Mill, um, in Atlanta, Georgia. So definitely shouts to them for day one, and shouts to everybody. Seriously, many, many thanks. Definitely make sure to grab a sip with your boy, Sip with Snorton. So shouts to my partners at Fonte's Coffee. We're doing great with the author Andrew Snorton blend. It's a medium roast. Make sure you visit fontescoffee.com. Even though you can get the info on my website, the landing page is going to take you to Fonte's Coffee. So make sure you go to fontescoffee.com, click on special collections. You'll see my image there. Not only can you order the coffee, but you can also order any of the books, as they're one of the number of growing bookstores, book resellers that are definitely lending support. And remember, if your order is $60 or more, there's free shipping. So make sure to check that out. You know, who can't enjoy a great cup of coffee? I know there's other events and festivals that I'll be a part of. Shouts to the folks at uh, Me Time Book Club, with selecting me as one of the participating authors for their event in Birmingham, Alabama. That will be April 22nd, the Black Ink Festival. So make sure to check that out. So Beham, the Magic City, not Magic City, but the Magic City. Make sure to check me out there. And of course, I'll be plugging in and updating with different book signings and things along those lines. But again, thank you to everybody taking time out to lend support, lend encouragement. There's some days that are smooth as silk, and there's some days that are smooth as sandpaper. So I'm grateful to everybody who has taken time over the last 6 years to pour into me, and I've still got more work to do. I still got tread in the tires, so I still got travels to make. So as we get ready to wind down, as a reminder, you can make sure to check me out on Facebook at the page Author Andrew Snorton, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Author A Snorton. When you add me on Instagram, make sure to click on the link in the bio. You can go through the press and media section. Interviews and more interviews are coming. Oh, shouts to real quick. Juva Alexander, awesome author based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, who had me as one of her featured people for Black History Month. So many, many thanks for that honor and recognition, and shouts back to you, fam. I really appreciate that. And trying to think. So, like I said, Facebook, Author Andrew Snorton, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, Author A Snorton. You may email me at authorasnorton@gmail.com for autograph requests, like autograph copies of the book, for bookings, for me, whatever, speak, do a benefit signing, things along those lines. And again, thank you to each and every one of you that's taken time to support. So, hopefully today's time to pause is giving people, the pick me up that they need. Make sure to like, share, forward, add, all that type of good stuff. Just a click of a button makes a world of difference for any any author. So shouts to everybody just making the honest effort to have a great day, a great week, and a great season, because hey, we just want to try to be living in greatness each and every day. So until next time, as always, take very good care. Whether small or big, a victory is a victory. Whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Be victorious and keep it moving. All right, y'all, take good care.